Hello world, welcome back to Raise Your RC. Today I'm going to show you how to disable AVC on your Spektrum radio receiver combo. So in front of us I've got my Rustler, my monster truck Rustler basically. I'm running the SRS6000 receiver, so this is currently the only receiver that Spektrum sells that supports AVC. It comes on a lot of their RTR vehicles, or you can buy it separately, of course. It also comes with the DX5C radio if you get the AVC model, which I think is like $150 or so. So anyways, there's a lot of confusion about how to disable AVC. A lot of people don't like AVC. It doesn't work out well for them. It's a little bit of a confusing feature. So I want to show you how to disable it. And there's pretty much two different ways to disable it. So you can see it here on my Rustler. I've got it enabled. You know, I'm just sort of wiggling the tires and it's kind of going off on its own. So it's enabled right now. The other way you can tell is that there's a solid LED on the receiver, so you know that basically AVC is enabled. So the way you would think to disable it is not actually the way you do it. So here's my Spektrum radio. I've got it on my Rustler, or my Stampede, Rustler Stampede, same thing. And so you go to AVC, it's on, and so you think, okay, well if I turn it off, INH means inhibit. I know it doesn't just say off, but INH means inhibit, which is to turn it off. You figure, okay, if I do that, then you know, let's see what happens. Well, man, okay, my AVC is still enabled, so that's kind of annoying. So I'm going to show you two ways to actually disable. I'll show you the easy way and then the hard way. So the kind of the easy way is to go back into AVC, turn it back on. And then for each of the gains, just turn it all the way off. Turn that all the way down to 0. And then leave the priority at 100%. So now that we've got that turned all the way down, you can see it's not really doing anything. The wheels and tires are basically disabled. You get like a tiny bit of that annoying gyro sound, but overall, it's pretty much disabled. So that's the easy way to do it. It doesn't really disable AVC, it just basically turns all the numbers down so it doesn't do anything, but it's still actually on. So that's the first way. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the real way to turn off AVC on your receiver. So this is in the manual, but it's super confusing. It's in fine print. No one ever actually reads it, so I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, the first thing you need is a bind plug. So go ahead and plug that into the bind port, which is all the way at the top. Okay, we got there plugged into bind. Now the second thing you're gonna do is get another bind plug. Yes, you need two bind plugs to disable AVC on your SRS6000 receiver. I don't know why that is. Spektrum loves their bind plugs, so hopefully you've got a second one because you're going to need it. So now you got to plug it into the second port, which actually says disable right underneath bind there. So we're going to go ahead and plug that in. So we got two bind plugs plugged into the bind port and the disable port. Okay, we're not even halfway there. We just got started. So next thing to do is turn on the car. And you'll see that it's actually got that fast flashing light. That actually means we're in bind mode. So go into your radio, go to the bind thing, and then get ready to hit bind. Now, there's two things you gotta be aware of when you're binding. Number one is you need a pretty fresh battery. You need either a fully charged 2-cell battery, or you need at least a 3-cell battery, like half charged, okay? So if you're using like a half charged 2-cell LiPo, it's not gonna bind. That's just one thing weird about Spektrum. I think it draws a lot of juice while it's binding, so make sure you're using a good battery. Second thing is you got to keep your radio like really far away from the car, like, you know, a yard or a meter away from the car. It doesn't bind when it's like right next to you. If you try to bind it with the radio right next to the receiver, it just doesn't bind. I don't know why, but that's just a Spektrum thing. If you call up them and ask them, they'll say, yeah, don't bind with your radio next to the receiver. So I'm gonna go a little bit far away from here. I'm going to go ahead and hit the bind button. You'll see something happen with the LED. Okay, flashed once. Now it's actually binding, and then you get the solid LED. So now it's actually bound, but you're not done yet. Now you got to enter the contra code. Yeah, you remember the contra code from the Nintendo, the OG Nintendo. I'm not kidding. You really actually basically have to hit the contra code. So with your radio, you're not done yet. You just hit the bind button. That's all you did, and it's back. You got to go full throttle, let go, full brake, let go, full right, let go, full left, let go, and then you're finally done. Now we're almost there. The thing is fully bound and it's actually flashing now. That indicates that the receiver is in what they call blinking mode, or basically AVC is fully shut off. That's how it's going to look. Go ahead and turn off the car. Next thing you do is remove the bind plugs. I always forget to do this and then I end up like having to rebind again. So remove your bind plugs and then turn it on. And it takes like 2 seconds for it to actually like become available again. And then let's check it. So in our radio, under AVC, we still have it on, but the car doesn't actually do anything. There's no AVC enabled. So yeah, that's the second way and pretty much the foolproof way, the right way to turn off AVC. It's super complicated, so I thought I'd shoot a video to explain that, because otherwise, no one would ever get it, and it's sometimes easier to show you how to do it than tell you how to do it. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe to my channel. As always, hit the add notifications button and look for more videos soon. Thanks for watching.